What's up, people? How we doing? Welcome to the stream. Obviously, we still got like half an hour before it gets going, but we could sit and we could chat. How are we today? I didn't think I was going to get this done today, you know? I've spent all day working on a video, did all my usual exercise and everything, but I pushed, I got it done, so we can watch this event together. I don't know, like everyone else, what it's going to entail. I don't know what they're going to actually cover. It's the future of FPS for EA. So that's Battlefield, and I think there's Apex Legends as well. But so they're going to talk about the next game and some stuff like that. But who knows details-wise exactly what we're going to get. It's going to be interesting, hopefully. Oh, randomly. Thank you, man. I mean, we're just sitting here, but thank you so much. Let's get this party started. Well, you have done. Can you get randomly some love for the $20 US, please? Thank you very much, my dude. I really appreciate it. That's going to solidly put you, that will tick over in a minute, actually, the monthly top at the bottom left. Thank you very much, man. Big love to Randomly Epic. Good stuff. Give us the insider scoop, dude. If you think I'm an insider, oof. I don't hear very much from EA. Trust me. But hi everyone. Welcome. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to a lovely Thursday? Thursday? Is a Thursday. Thank you for the likes, etc. We're going. We've got about 29 minutes before the thing kicks off. So we can just hang out until then. If you've got questions to ask me, things to talk about, go for it. Let's talk. If anyone new is here, hi. Nice to have you. If you want to sub, amazing. The alerts may come up or not. They've been a little weird recently, the alerts for subscribing. But I will turn them off in time for the event starting so they're not popping up while the devs are talking, because that'd be a pain. And Tyler, thank you for the $5 US. Dun, 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 dun. I've already done that wrong, but I can't really denote tone or pacing from text, but thank you for the $5, man. I appreciate it. Very kind of you. Thank you for the support, guys. I haven't been monthly top since January. I'm hoping to hold on to it this month. Currently, I think you're clearing the lead, my dude, so thank you very much. Thank you very much, Randomly, and thank you very much, Tyler. As we were talking about the video I was working on all day, I got my best guns in BF1 for mid-2021 coming out next week at some point. I'm sending it off tonight for approval, because it's got an ad in it. And then once they get that clearance, I'll be posting it, so I'll be looking forward to that. What do you think about yesterday's match? It was a nail-biter. Oh, it was the BF theme. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, so that makes sense now. What's up, Sonny or Duelist? How you doing? The game yesterday was a nail-biter, but it was fun. I'm glad England came out on top. It was a close one. So the final's going to be interesting against Italy. Yeah, let me know what you thought of it. Greetings from Finland. Greetings from England, man. What's your favourite Battlefield? BF1, but I'm hoping that BF 2042 will improve on that, let's say. We'll supersede it eventually. Especially with the BF theme. Yeah, it makes sense now. I don't know how to donate on YouTube, lol. That's fine, don't worry about it. I mean, if you want to know, I can tell you. But, you know, there's no pressure at all. It's all good. You watching is support in its own regard, Matt. Thank you. Hi, recent subscriber. What do you hope they'll talk about? I hope it's the mechanics of 24/2, mostly good mechanics. Well, hi, Hitfire. Thank you for recently subscribing. I don't have any speculation, to be honest. I don't know quite how they're going to structure this event. Because it's Battlefield, because it's an EA event. It's Battlefield and Apex Legends. But also, did you know that DICE LA have just rebranded to Ripple Studios? Is it something like that? So they've got a few things they may cover. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. We'll get some more details today, but whether they'll be big or small, we don't know. Why don't you leave the streams up as videos so people can watch the streams they missed? Because it's not good for a channel to have it chock full of just daily streams. It makes the channel look unimpressive viewership-wise. It can possibly affect algorithm. It buries the videos. But what if you do miss the streams, Sean, and you want to watch them, in the Discord, join Discord. The link's in the description, or type in !Discord. It'll pop up a link, you can join that, and then when I go live, I always post in the announcements, I ping everyone, and that link works even when the stream gets unlisted afterwards. So do that, my dude. Ripple Effect Studios. I was right. Cool, thank you. Anyway, what are we waiting for? Like, what is going to happen in this event? It's an EA event about the future of FPS games for them, or the near future. It's about Battlefield, Apex Legends, I think, and about Dice LA rebranding to Ripple Effect Studios. I don't know any more than that. So it's going to be a surprise for all of us, but hopefully there'll be some interesting information in there. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Thank you for being here. I know there's plenty of other things you could be doing on this fine day. Hey there, Oklahoma, checking in. Thanks for the tickling. It's all good, man. Thanks for joining. Hope you're all having a great day. I'm excited for this, just because it's another thing we can do together, something to watch, hopefully some new details. But, completely honest with you, I'm hoping it's not a super long event, because I'm really hungry. I'm absolutely starving. So I'm hoping it'll be like an hour and donezo and I can go and eat. Titanfall 3 and BF 2042, I hope. If I'm going to go ahead and say if there was a Titanfall 3, I think they'd make a bigger deal out of it. But you could dream, you can hope. You know, that's, you know, if you want to cling on to that hope, you have said you doubt it, then go for it. So late. Well, it depends on where you are in the world, right? For some of you, it will be. What time is it for you, Moonman? Len Loyo. Have I pronounced the name incorrectly? Is it Elaine or Lane? Anyway, hi. How you doing? The Mighty says BF 2042 should be BF1 gunplay, BF5 movement, BF4 gun modification, BF1 class identification, BF3 team balancing. You know, visually it will look stunning. I mean, there's no way you get all of that, but I assume that would be your perfect Battlefield game. Is basically what you're putting together there, the Mightis. Again, you can dream until you find otherwise. What's up, Jimmie P? Nice gold membership badge, my dude. Thanks for the support. Just waiting, my dude. Gonna go run and grab some chicken fingers and chips, honey mustard sauce. Be right back. Chuck, I'm starving. Probably the least helpful thing you could say. I hope you enjoy your food, man. I'll see you when you get back. My time is 7:30 p.m. Yeah, that's reasonable. Oh, God, we're just going to get lots of people telling me the time now, aren't we? What's going on here, then? It's an EA event talking about Battlefield and Apex Legends and Dice LA rebranding. We don't know exactly what details we're going to get, but I figured, as previously we've enjoyed watching these events as a community, we'd do it again. Hey, GG. Been a while since I've been in the stream. Hope all is well. All good, thank you, Rex. No worries. No worries. Thanks for tuning in. I'm from Brazil. Love your channel. Well, thank you for the support. All the way from Brazil. I'm worried about the class system. I think there's concerns, but I'm not going to jump the gun. We'll see how it pans out when we get the game, or when we play the beta at least. But there could be problems with it, but it could also be great. I know a lot of people have been really doom and gloom about it, but I'm just waiting. I'm happy to wait and see and hope for the best. You can hear the background music, right? Because otherwise it's just silence, and we don't want that. OBS is telling me you can, but it has lied to me before. We definitely don't want it lying. And Nightbot is working. That's good. That's helpful. She gets lazy sometimes. I'm worried about health and ammo resupply, cheating, and team balance, and I really hope suppression doesn't come back. I imagine there will be some suppression. I don't mind suppression as long as it's handled well. I don't want to go into a big talk about it, but there's good suppression and there's bad suppression. I don't want them to go overboard with it. I'm good, thank you, Dredskull. How are you? And Nozomu, hi. How you doing? I'm good, thank you, dude. Don't understand how hyped I am for the new Battlefield. Yeah, well, I hope you enjoy. I hope you're all reasonably hyped, or at least hopeful. Hopefully they can find balance with the class system. That is the idea. Now, let me tell you, when the game first drops, please do not expect that class-based system to be perfectly balanced, because it just won't be. And I don't know if they could even manage to get it completely balanced when they're working with that kind of class system with abilities. I feel like any FPS game, or any ability game, let's say, or with a class system that comes out, it never perfectly balanced when it first launches. You can't expect it, because they've only got internal playtests, and it's not the same thing. So if it's not particularly well balanced when the game first drops, don't lose your minds, okay? That's what I'm saying. Where is the R on beta? I'm not sure what that means, Aaron, to be honest with you. I'm gonna try again. Oh, Aaron B, thank you for subbing, dude. Congrats. You got 10% cooler, man. Anyone that subs to this channel gets 10% cooler for life. So congrats, my dude. Welcome to the friendliest community in all... rather, should we try again? Welcome to the friendliest community in all of Battlefield. And we stream almost every day. So I look forward to seeing you in the future, my dude. You can hear the music. Good. Thank you, guys. First stream of caught buzzing. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here. When is it supposed to start? It will start in approximately 21 minutes. Movement needs to be better. Visibility too. Yes, I'm hoping both of those will be improved. Visibility will almost certainly be better than BF5 because I imagine that's probably one of the focuses for them. Movement is a big talking point in the minute. And obviously we don't know too much about it, so I'm not going to jump the gun on it, as I keep saying. But I'm hoping they've managed to get rid of those issues, like trying to mantle and ending up lying on the ground, stuff like that. Hopefully that's gone. Well, thank you, Nozuma. I appreciate it. How are you guys going to handle hackers? Well, I have nothing to do with it. But I'm hoping DICE have a good anti-cheat, or EA, rather. Hi, Tom. Tom Scrimmers, how you doing, dude? Yes, I'll expect the game to be balanced at release, just like I do with every game. Rasmus, I'm going to go ahead and say that you seem to have a very negative attitude about the game. Every comment you make about Battlefield is very negative, and yet you're here watching every day. It's slightly confusing. How long till this EA thing starts? It's going to start in about 20 minutes. 20 minutes, guys. I also don't know when the beta is. I don't know. Do we get any more cooler during the Discord? Potentially so. I mean, the Discord, to be honest, I highly recommend the Discord. It's not for my benefit, it's for yours. Link's in the description. Go for it. You can make friends, find some people to play with. Go for it. More than welcome. There's a link there in the chat, actually, if you want to use it. Everyone's welcome. You can use the web browser or the app. No problem either way. I'm buying a new console just for BF 2042. Which one would you recommend? Buy the one that you can get hold of with ease, and or the one that your friends play on, and or the one that has the right exclusives for you. I think when it comes down to Xbox or PlayStation, the argument is completely irrelevant. I just would say get hold of the one that you think is best for you based on what your friends play on, or the one you already have games on, or the exclusives you want. They're going to do a very similar thing either way. El Kukui and Frey, thank you for the subscriptions. Welcome to the friendliest community in Battlefield. How is it negative to expect a game to be balanced? Rasmus, I don't think you listened to me. Let me cover it again, very politely. When a game has ability or class-based model to it, it almost, I mean, pretty much never releases with them perfectly balanced, because with internal playtesting, they just simply cannot get it completely fine-tuned, tweaked from the off when you've got a class-based system. It's just not possible. So it's pretty much completely unreasonable to expect it to be completely balanced. That's not saying that you can forgive the game for being wildly imbalanced overall. I'm just saying that these abilities, these classes, don't expect them to be completely balanced in. Some things are going to be a bit too good, some things not too good, and it'll be shifted around. Just got to be reasonable with expectations, and hopefully the game is great either way. Why would you not expect to complete a game when we pay for it? That's not what I'm saying. They're not the words that came out of my mouth. The hype is leading up to a peak happening in 20 minutes. Yes, it will be 18 minutes. By the way, GG, been hitting the gym, hard losing weight again, but worth it. Thanks for always doing activity challenges, keeping me on track. No, all good, man. All good, Big Josh. No worries. It's a good thing to do. Good luck in your fitness journey, man. And if you ever need help, obviously check into the streams. We always talk about it. And the Discord has a fitness and motivation chat in it now as well. I'm in there. Some other people that do stuff like that are in there. So if you ever need help, just ask, my dude. I'm glad they do this event. It will refuel the hype train. I think it's good to just drop little things here and there periodically just to keep things going. What else we got? I love Battlefield 1, but I only like BF4, so I hope I love the new BF. Yep, I mean, that's fine. Not everyone likes all the Battlefields. Again, I'm not a huge fan of BF5, particularly. I give it like a 5 out of 10. Whereas BF1, I play almost every day. So hopefully BF 2042, regardless of your preference, will at least be a good game overall. And they've had a long time to work on it with a lot of design studios, or dev studios, sorry. So hopes are high. It's unfortunate the old Xbox and PS4 is only going to be able to support a downscaled version of this new game. Yes, but I think the key is always how you choose to view things. And I think, actually, if you're on a previous gen console, you should actually be kind of pleased it's coming to them, because it wasn't always going to be guaranteed. They may have just decided to go current gen only and just be like, well, the hardware on the previous gen doesn't allow us to fulfill our vision, so at least they're getting something, right? I feel like it's better than nothing. When's it starting? Sorry, I just got it. It's all right, Scott. We're starting in about 16 minutes. I know that for Xbox, it's released in October. Wait, is this the game? Are we talking about the game in general? The game will release on all platforms around the same date. I don't know. I can't remember if there's early... No, I think the early access is across the board on all platforms. Or are we talking about the beta? I missed what we were discussing. Hopefully next month payday I can trade in my Xbox One for Xbox Series X for like $350. Well, good luck, dude. Good luck with that. Just watching your BF5 video. Oh, cool. Thank you for the support. What do you think it means when they say that there will be a dulled down version of BF 2042 for last version consoles, like smaller maps, less players, or what's up with that? Yes, so on current gen consoles, i.e. Xbox Series X, PS5, capable PCs, you can play with double the old maximum amount of players in a server, so a conquest or breakthrough server, whatever it's going to be. Obviously, we're waiting to find out exactly how it's going to be laid out. We'll have double the maximum amount of the previous game, so BF5. But on older gen, on Xbox One, PS4, stuff like that, you'll be locked into the old maximums, and that probably means that they will scale the maps to that number as well. I would imagine. I don't think that's confirmed, that aspect of it, but it would logically make sense. Otherwise, the maps would be like really empty. So that's how it's going to work out. Hi Samuel, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. What if some PS5 dude sits in the zone where a PS4 player can't go? No, it won't be. It won't work like that. I imagine they're going to have it locked off. So either PS4 won't play with PS5, or PS4 will only play with PS5 on modes or servers where the cap is the same. There won't be an issue with that crossover. I've always loved BF4 and I hate 5. I think they'd learn from the mistakes made in 5. I'm expecting a pretty solid BF this time. That's kind of my vibe as well. They're my expectations, or at least my hopes, but remains to be seen. But I think it's very early for some people to be crucifying the game, and for others to be saying it's going to be the best thing ever. I choose the solid middle ground. Thank you, Big Josh, for the $5, dude, with the thumbs up. Good job. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support, man. Can we get Big Josh some love in the chat? Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Release date is scheduled for October 22nd. Yes. Are you on Are you on One X? I'm on an Xbox Series X. Yes, that is my console. If you've got any questions about my hardware or software, I've taken the time to list pretty much everything I can think of in the description below, as we're not doing anything. If you want to take a look, go for it. Do you know what's cross-gen bundle? I'm not sure of the question. Do you mean, is there a cross-gen bundle, and what are the details of it? Because if you do mean that, I've not looked into it. So Google would be better for you, my dude. I've not looked into that. What's up, Curly Whirly? Hello. Sorry, you were talking to someone else. Never mind. Sup, GetGoodGuy. Love your content. Rock on, dude. Can't wait to watch you shredding it up. Shout out Big Josh. I assume that is. Thank you, Debonair Beef. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for watching the content. Very kind. What's happening today? Hey, Mangoes. It is a EA-centered event, as you can see, EA Play Live, but it focuses upon the future of FPS games for them, at least the near future. So that is Battlefield and I believe Apex Legends, and they're going to talk about some details. Don't know exactly what, don't know what we're going to get, but figured we'd watch it together and find out. When it starts up, obviously I'll cut the music and then let me know if the stream is too loud or too quiet. You know, their stream, and I'll turn it up or down. Sorry, that's me hitting the microphone like an absolute pro. Do you know if you can play with mouse and keyboard on Series X or BF 2042? I don't advise it anyway. I think it's tantamount to cheating unless you've got a disability of some kind, which means you need to use a mouse and keyboard. I think using mouse and keyboard on console is kind of scummy. Unless they officially support it. I don't think there are any plans currently to officially support it, unless they do cross-gen and they allow you to choose what input method you want to play against, in which case it's fine. But without that, there are workarounds, but the workarounds themselves are basically why it's considered cheating. I've ordered Ultimate Edition, which gives you cross-gen. Oh, okay, cool. There you go. I wasn't sure if that was the question that was being asked or not. Apple or Android? I'm not a huge Apple fan, honestly. Like, I don't use a Mac or anything, but I do use an iPhone. So my one thing is that I like iPhones, because I'm just used to using an iPhone, but Apple in general, I kind of steer clear because they don't allow you to upgrade your hardware and stuff. Like, if you get a Mac, you're stuck until you just buy a new one. Whereas with my PCs or a laptop, I can just upgrade it as I go along. You're welcome, Mangoes, no problem. What's up, Kyle? Safe to say I'm very jealous of your PC. Oh, well, thank you. I didn't start with this, obviously. When I first started YouTube, I had a very basic PC, and we've eventually got to the point that I'm at now. So it was a long road, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with my setup. If you use mouse and keyboard and console, you deserve to be careful, Moonman. Let's not offend anybody. There's nothing wrong with being in a wheelchair. Let's have some maturity. I'm anxious that they're going to press. I'm anxious that they're going to press with esports in the future. The lack of competitiveness is one of the things I've liked about BF. I don't think that's going to be at the forefront of their thoughts at the minute for Battlefield. Because Battlefield isn't a particularly competitive game. It's got a competitive scene, don't get me wrong, and there's people that are very passionate about it and love it, but it's definitely not a competitive focused game. So I don't think that'll be top of their list currently. I don't think you need to worry about it too much at this current point. Manuel, thank you for the subscription. Congrats on getting 10% cooler for life, dude. Welcome to the friendliest community in Battlefield. I hope you enjoy your stay. We stream almost every day, so I look forward to seeing you in the future. Quick pointer, I'm not here tomorrow, by the way. I'm not streaming tomorrow because I'm going to go see my dad, which I do once every couple of weeks. But I'll be back on Saturday to stream as usual, which will probably be another BF1 stream. So I look forward to seeing some of you there. The Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S have full mouse and keyboard support. Are you sure? For all games? Because as far as my understanding was, the game developers decide whether they support mouse and keyboard rather than Microsoft, as in the Xbox. So unless that has changed, that's still the ruling. So even if it supports an official mouse and keyboard, I think it still comes down to the game itself. I think. Unless it's changed since last time I did all the research on it, which was about a year and a half ago. Where are we? Yeah, it doesn't come down to the PC, it comes down to how good the YouTube is. Yeah, well, yes, I agree. What happens in this EA reveal? We don't know. That's kind of why we're watching it. They're going to talk about Battlefield, Apex Legends, and probably the rebrand of DICE LA, which is now Ripple Effect Studios, and what that means moving forward. I don't know if we'll get any huge information today or just little bits. We'll have to wait and see. But hopefully we can all enjoy it together. You should put on a timer or something. For this, the thing is, it's not on me. I would have thought they'd have done a timer. I mean, they've got a little live in 8 minutes thing on the top left, to be honest, which is underneath my overlay. But it's so small and insignificant, it didn't seem like it was particularly worthwhile. You can always Google what your time zone is compared to what I've put in the title. It does say what time the stream is starting in the title. But I can tell you it's going to be about 8 minutes. It's not very long. Gonna miss you tomorrow, but I'll be here on Saturday. All good. I'm sure you find something to do tomorrow, Chloe, but thank you very much. HG, no stream today. I mean, this is the streamcast, dude, but I mean, if you mean at the usual time, no, I've been working on video stuff all day, mate, so I didn't get a chance. I actually didn't think I was going to get done in time to do this, but I worked hard. I got to this point, so managing to stream it for you guys, and then, but once this is over, I'm done. I'm not playing today. I need to go and eat. I'm desperately hungry. I'm starving. Some games have M&K support on Xbox now. Yep. Hello, GG. Play Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4. Is that in order? I'm good, man. We'll see what happens moving forward. You are correct, good. I read the article further. It does say game-specific support required. Okay, cool. That's cool. I thought so. That's cool. Because as far as I'm aware, Battlefield still doesn't support that officially on console, which is probably a good idea. Because if you can see what a mouse and keyboard can do on PC, PC mouse and keyboard Battlefield plays very different to console controller, and it would be a bloodbath, dude. Oh my god, it would be just something else. You ever played Titanfall 2? Yes, I have a little bit. You think they might reveal 3 today? No, I'd be hugely mega surprised, but we'll see. We'll see. If they do, then cool. We'll see it together. When's it starting? It's starting in about 7 minutes. BF hasn't been competitive since BS3. Hey, I reckon they ought bring it up with COD-type tournaments. Would be mean competition, international interest would be there surely. Yeah, the issue is, I don't want to go into this in too much depth. I'm not saying it can't be competitive, but some games are innately better suited to comp than others. Now, because Call of Duty is generally a small game mode, sort of almost arena shooter, it fits the competitive element. Like League of Legends, for example. If you take League of Legends, played on a casual level, looks somewhat similar to played on a competitive level, right? You've even got ranked built into the game. Battlefield, competitive Battlefield would play so entirely differently to the experience that the average casual populace experiences. Because you're not going to have 64v64 competitive. You see what I'm saying? But we'll see if they ever go with comp again. Who knows? But whether they'll officially support it is a different matter entirely. Really hoping this won't be another countdown to a countdown like the last one. I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I certainly hope not, because I'm so hungry I can't go through a countdown after this. But I'm imagining it will start right on 6 o'clock my time, so about 5 minutes from now, and probably go for about an hour, and then we'll be done, and I can go and eat. How much was your Xbox Series X? Where did you even find one in stock? I got it, I pre-ordered it day one. So it was just the normal price, the standard price. I can't remember where I ordered it from, but on the day they dropped in the UK for pre-orders, I was up, had all the websites up, ready to go to get hold of one. That's how I did it. What do you do after eating? Sometimes work, sometimes relax. By the time I've eaten, it's evening time generally for me, because I get up, exercise, shower, eat, all that stuff, and then maybe do some stuff, and then I stream, and then I run, and then I eat. So usually it's maybe do a bit more work, but usually it's just chill in the evening before bed, and then repeat the next day. Would be nice to see a disc version of the Gold and Ultimate Edition, so literally just a disc with some codes. Oh, did I miss what we were discussing there? I might not be aware of what you're talking about. I'm unsure. Feel free to expand on it if you like. Here's a real question. Everyone's wondering, if you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself? I know I would. I wouldn't, but it would be difficult to resist. I'll give you that. I believe Modern Warfare... Oh, okay, sorry. I'm trying to get away from the mouse and keyboard thing now. We started a war. What's up, Mr. Doge? How are you? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the support so far, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I remember when Neves first played BF on PC with mouse and keyboard, and he was all, oh, well, you just point and click on the head, sir. I mean... Obviously, it's not as simple as that, but compared with using thumbsticks, that's why having mouse and keyboard versus thumbsticks in Battlefield is just, I don't think, a wonderful idea. Unless the player opts into it, like if you're playing console with a PC friend of yours, then it's fair game. Obviously, mixed server, cool. But otherwise, I think they should be separated, or again, have the option to choose. If you give the player the ultimate decision of what they want to play with and against, then you can't lose. And I imagine if they do decide to do crossplay, blah, 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 they'll do that. If they don't, it would be a really bad move. What's for dinner? Tonight, I've got Huel. I don't know if you guys are aware of what Huel is. I've got some Huel, a protein bar, a protein brownie, and I think that's it. I think that's all my calories for the night. I'm using most of the calories I got left on 2 sweet things, because I got a sweet tooth, and I also can't bother to cook again tonight. So there's no way I'm doing chicken or anything. I'm still OG Xbox One. Would you recommend Xbox X? I'm very keen, worth every cent in my opinion. I can't tell you if you like it as such or if it's worth it to you, but what I can tell you is that I have had no problems with my Xbox Series X. It's done everything I've expected of it. There were a couple crashes in the first week, and they seem to have stopped. It now does exactly what I expect, and it means I'm in a position where I know I can play any fresh new games that come out on it, and I'm good to go. So if you want to take that as a recommendation, then go for it. I think I've said thank you for the subs that came up. I better turn off the alerts, actually. If anyone subbed and the alert didn't work, it's not me or the stream. It's YouTube or Streamlabs is kind of broken at the minute, and it's not showing all of them, so my apologies. But if you did sub, thank you very much. They now probably won't pop up if you sub. I'll see them in my mini feed maybe, but thank you. You get 10% cooler when you sub. You join the friendliest community in Battlefield, and we stream almost every day. So I look forward to seeing you in the future, but I'm actually not here tomorrow, which is unfortunate timing, but I'll be back on Saturday. It's an incredibly depressing meal, I'm sorry. For you, maybe. I got goals. I got fitness goals. So, you know, each to their own. In BF5, didn't controller have less recoil in general? I think it did at one point, and then I believe SMK is currently testing this, so I don't know if he's dropped the video yet. I believe it actually got removed. But basically, that was in place to try and level the playing field between controller and PC, and mouse and keyboard, rather. But I actually think they got rid of it. When it's starting, any minute, like literally any minute. It's waiting for Electronic Arts. It's as soon as they click go, it's good. I need to turn off this music as soon as it starts as well. Yeah, when it starts up, sorry, I was trying to think of my words. When it starts up, let me know if it's loud enough or not. And I'll turn it up or down And obviously, I won't talk a huge amount during the event because I don't want to ruin it for you guys. I know you guys are here to watch it with me, but at the same time, if people want to watch the event, I don't want to be talking over all the details. So I'll just add little comments here and there, but I'm not going to be just narrating the whole thing because what's the point? You expanded in a comment above. Oh, it may have scrolled. Hold on. Ultimate and Gold editions, as far as I know, are only digital versions, but enjoy. Oh, I see. Oh, you mean they're not offering the different versions as physical copy? Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't know if they'll be doing that or not. I don't think there are any plans currently. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for expanding. What's your favorite band? I don't know if I have a favorite band. I don't really have favorites. I get asked about favorites every day, and I just don't have favorites of things. I really genuinely don't. It's not a cop-out answer. I genuinely don't. Oh, here we go. Right. To be honest with you, my headset just died. I can't hear it. Is it loud enough, guys? Let me know.
I guess the ones closest to you. Dead.
I'm Stella Chung from IGN, and welcome to Spotlight, the first in the EA series that connects you to the games you love and the people who make them. Leading up to EA Play Live on July 22nd, EA invited me to come chat with the developers who are defining the future of first-person shooters.
Okay.
So, please join me in welcoming Vince Zampella, founder of Respawn and Group General Manager, Chad Grenier, Game Director for Apex Legends, Christian Grass, General Manager of Ripple Effects Studios, and joining us live from DICE headquarters, Oscar Gabrielson, General Manager of DICE. Today we're going to talk about first-person shooters, especially Apex Legends and the recently announced Battlefield 2042. So let's jump in. This is an insane group. So doing some quick calculation, how many years of game dev experience do we have here?
I've got almost 20 years.
For just
spent
you?
all of it with Vince, actually, yeah.
Oh.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
Are those happy years?
It's been a roller coaster.
Okay. And
No,
how
they've
about
been
you?
So I've been with DICE for 20 years as well, but with Vince only for 2 years. So 2 good years, though, really good years.
I like that you specified that they're 2 very good years. Oscar, how about you?
I'd say 24 years. Kicked off early with modding community back in the Counter-Strike and Quake days. Since then, came into DICE, north of 10 years ago. So it's been a thrilling ride of many different shooters across the years.
And this is the first time you guys are talking?
I think we all individually talk all the time, but just
Okay.
as one group, we haven't all been together like this.
So this is a very powerful group then.
I guess.
It's like
I'm
a
actually very
powerhouse
weak,
of
so.
FPS.
The Apex Games are where the champions are crowned, but the arenas are where legends are made.
So Apex Legends took the world by storm, launching just over 2 years ago, and you had no advertisement before. So do you guys have any stories that you can share with us?
Well, I recently just wrote a blog on our 2-year anniversary, kind of talking about how we kept the game a secret and did the Beyonce drop at the time. So we kind of copied her strategy there.
Always go with Beyonce,
Yeah.
and you win.
Flawless.
Exactly.
You revealed Battlefield 2042 to the world last month. How does it feel to have the news finally out there?
Well, I think the theory is when you build a game and you're kind of looking forward to announcing it, you're supposed to feel excited and pumped and thrilled and all those kind of positive words.
Yeah.
The honest reality is pure agony the last couple of weeks before you show off a thing. You have teams that spent years and years and years, hundreds and hundreds of game creators creating these games, and then you get this final moment where you get to show the game to the world, and you never know what reactions are going to be, but of course, super happy to be able to show the game to the world. It's something we're super pumped about.
So tell us about the game and its trademark game events that are truly next level.
You know, not many times in your career do you get the chance to go through a console transition. So when we got the chance now to work on the new generation of consoles, it really enabled us to rethink some of the kind of core building blocks of Battlefield, delivering a game at a scale we've never done before. And it comes both on the land masses you play Battlefield on, but also the player counts. You know, getting the chance to play with 128 players on an army scale kind of warfare setup. We added a lot of really cool gear to the game, things like grappling hooks, wingsuit. And then for some really cool reason, we like to say, like, what about a real-time tornado? Real-time tornadoes are cool, right? What about adding one of those to Battlefield? And then what happens if you take that and you combine it with a wingsuit so you can kind of propel yourself to the other side of the map? You know, these tornadoes, they kind of help in kind of grand way when you play. There's been more than a few playtests in which you're in this really intense situation where you're honestly pretty screwed. And then a lovely tornado shows up and just sweeps all the enemies in front of you. You're like, hey, that worked. High five, Mr. Tornado. And I think those kind of really big Levolution moments that we're introducing as part of Battlefield 2042 is what makes the game special. You need to play on your toes every single second because you never know what Mother Nature throws at you.
Can you shoot like into and out of the tornado?
Of course you can shoot at a tornado. And that's one good way of understanding that the storm's actually approaching is just kind of looking up at the trees. If they're starting to bend a bit too much, you probably are supposed to start running because you're going to get, swept up by that tornado sooner or later.
Can you tell me how long the team has been working on the game?
Yeah, so
visual
this is a
feedback for it
cycle
sounds
for us, and
good.
that really has enabled us to both take a big leap when it comes to tech. So we're running on a completely new version of Frostbite, which has enabled us to push both visual fidelity and core gameplay as a result. And really to kind of hone in on the concept. You've seen us talk about our no-path specialist, our new characters, and we've invested a lot of time and kind of love and passion into the storylines and the worlds and the war we're portraying. So we're super happy to get the chance to do that.
So DICE and DICE LA have had a long history with Battlefield, but before we talk about that history, DICE LA just rebranded. So can you tell us all about that, Christian?
Yeah, so the studio was formed 8 years ago as a way of expanding the capabilities that DICE had to build Battlefield. We wanted to push this idea that we have in the studio where we really want to drive quality in everything we do as a studio. And in order for us to do that in a really good way, we believe that you need to be good at listening. You need to listen to the people that work in the studio to kind of find these good ideas, these kind of nuggets of good ideas that we then try to turn into something real. And that sort of is ripple effect for us. It's this idea that great things have small beginnings, and that's kind of what a ripple effect is. But we're super excited about the name. We feel like it represents us. It flows well. It's a good name.
So the work that Oscar and Christian have been doing for Battlefield hasn't even been revealed yet. But Christian, I'm hoping that you can maybe give us a little bit of a hint.
So I can't say that much about it. What I can say is this, though, is that one of the components in this experience that we're creating is that we're adding some of the fan favorite maps back into Battlefield 2042. But the entire experience, you have to wait a bit longer before we reveal what that is.
So he said Levolution earlier on, didn't it? Yeah, I wonder if he meant to say that or not, whether it was something of importance.
The team at DICE announced Hazard Zone at the reveal, but didn't say much. We know it's being developed at DICE. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, I mean, so Battlefield 2042 ships with 3 core multiplayer experiences. We've shown off All Out Warfare. Of course, Christian and his team have something special coming shortly that we'll show at EA Play Live. And our second experience is called Hazard Zone. It's a high-stakes, squad-based game mode with a lot of high tension. It's not your classic Battle Royale. It's a really contemporary mode. It's also something the team has been thinking about for many years. We're really looking forward to showing it to the world. It has some really special components, and it really kind of leans into the superpowers of Battlefield and DICE at the same time. So we'll show more later this fall, just a couple of weeks and months before we launch the game in October.
So Vince, you've been part of some of the biggest FPS games in the history of the genre, like Medal of Honor, Allied Assault, Call of Duty, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare, also the sequels to both of those franchises, Titanfall 1 and 2, my personal favorites, and Apex Legends, just to name a few. What is the secret ingredient to making a great FPS?
A great team.
That was immediate. I love that.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to something Christian mentioned, which is finding nuggets of gold within the team members themselves and putting them into the game, right? Building a great team where people are have this initiative and they're passionate about making games. Ideas come from anyone, and so if you put the right people in place, then those ideas just sort of happen, assuming you have a collaborative culture and a place where people feel like they can speak up and pitch ideas. And
not all ideas are good. Like you have to be, like we'll throw out ideas and, I'll say something and Chad will say, that's stupid, we're not doing that. Okay, and he's probably right most of the time.
What was an idea in Apex that you guys threw out? Besides Titan, because we all know everyone's been asking about Titans.
There's a lot. Coming off of Titanfall 2, we had a lot of the Titanfall 2 mechanics in the game, like the Titans, and that was something that we decided to cut, as well as wall running and the jump packs. And I know those are all favorites of Titanfall players, but they added to what we call Brownian motion in our game, where players can sort of be anywhere at any time, and we wanted a slower paced, more predictable combat where you can predict when someone goes around the corner, the possibilities of where they could be, and not that they can be anywhere. And then the Titans just sort of, were a weird balance. They were sort of, how do you make them powerful enough that you feel really cool when you're in a Titan, but not OP? We had drop pods at the beginning instead of jumping out of the plane and sort of doing the skydive. We had a map that you would pick where you would drop and sort of just instantly dart down in a drop pod. But we found during playtest that giving players more time to reposition and see where other players are going and rethink strategy was more fun.
Going to check it out over there.
It's a lot of play testing and trying things and failing fast and moving on or improving if you see a promise in it. So
yeah, I think it's incredible to see like your team work together. And like you said, a great team makes a great FPS, because now you have this title that is esports ready. And ALGS has been doing wonders. A lot of people have been wanting to enter into it. And so it's just kind of the proof is in the pudding, right?
Yeah, we're really glad that people are playing it competitively, and ALGS has been great. Just held the championships, so that was really cool. Really big prize pool, so that's been exciting. Looking forward to doing it again next year.
I know you mentioned your team with Ripple Effect now, so would that kind of be?
The other thing that I really like is, and I think that's something that the Battlefield franchise has done well, is not being afraid of taking risks and not saying no instantly. So if someone comes up with an idea, like having a tornado real time in the game, someone doesn't just say, that's insane, cut. Instead, it's like, yeah, maybe that could work. And that kind of what if question, I think, is super important. So you take some risk, like we introduced destruction back in Battlefield Bad Company 1 into the game, which wasn't necessarily from a development point of view a sane idea, but it was a cool idea and we wanted it. So we kind of pushed for it, even though it was really difficult to do. But then like Vince said, you have to balance that with being bold enough to cut things that don't work as well. And that is actually more difficult than it sounds. It's difficult to cut things that you've been working on for a long time. So I think that balance is really important to strike.
Then turning to Oscar, is there anything that you've had to cut from previous games that you've worked on that kind of made you feel a little bit sad?
Oof. I have one that I miss, every single day. We'll hopefully get it back in, some Battlefield version. It's actually something we did back in the Battlefield 4 days called Tablet Commander. So you might remember you could actually join into a 64-player Battlefield session on your tablet, either an Android one or an iOS one. And we even had voice over IP support. So you could kind of call in supplies, do a bunch of things from the iPad. And the reason I remember it so well, it was actually the same year I got my first kid. So I couldn't sit in front of a console or a PC, but what I could do is I could carry my kid on one arm, and I could have my iPad on the other one, and I could scream at my squad and give them squad orders. So we just need to get Tablet Commander back. And us not having it in the next couple of games is still really frustrating me, so we have to fix that.
Do you think we can make that happen?
Hopefully at some point it will be back in the game. I don't know, though.
Let's do a classic, Christian.
You and I this weekend, Oscar, let's write some code.
It's interesting they've decided to include that conversation.
Yeah,
that might actually mean something one day.
Oscar.
So going back to Apex, Chad and Vince, you guys have been able to knock it out of the park with every season launch. And I think season 9 was one of the best because you also brought back Titanfall 2's most infamous pilot, Viper, with Valkyrie, and created this new backstory for a character that we really didn't get that much screen time with. How do you guys keep doing it?
Well, our writing team just loves Titanfall, and they're trying, every moment to try to squeeze something in. We've seen that the fans really love it too, and so when there's an opportunity, we obviously want to do it. The team is just generally very familiar with all of the characters and the universe and all the lore. So sometimes it's a natural fit, and sometimes we just, we'll pull in Ash to run the arenas or something like that. It's all in the same universe, so it happens fairly naturally.
I think I saw that you guys even pulled in a community member to the writing team, right? I think that's incredible. What was your decision-making process on that?
Yeah, as the game gets bigger and we've got, more devs working on the game, we needed to really document and start cataloging, our lore and what we've done and what we haven't done and who's who. And so he had already been essentially doing that for free. And so we just reached out and asked if he wanted to work for us. And yeah, now he works at Respawn and he's sort of our lore expert now.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, the universe is something that we're building on and we have big plans for in the future. So it's really important that we keep our heads straight on everything, because it's not always easy.
Yeah, and I noticed that you also brought in, I think, community artists for all the Apex panels and even on Twitter, not even just in-game. So how do you find these people, these artists, and how do you pick them?
Man, there's been so much good art. We don't ask for it. They just post it.
And it's amazing. Thank you all.
It blows our minds. So we've done a bunch of things with the community, and honestly, we're just getting started. We're gonna, hopefully do a lot more. We've reached out to a few people, and they've done some comics for some of our seasons. We just partnered with someone in the community to do an animated Pathfinder video.
Game over. Thanks for playing.
And yeah, just getting started. There's so many amazing artists out there, and we're also hiring, so they can always apply also. But they're doing great work.
That's amazing. I
Nice
think
job
it's so
getting
cool.
that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's amazing that you've been able to tie the community into this and kind of give back in that sort of form. I love it so much. Even the casual comics that I see retweeted on the Apex Legends Twitter account, I think it's really cool that you've been able to bridge that gap between people who are so passionate and aren't necessarily developers or in the gaming industry, but they just want to share their love of the game. And you guys have embraced the community, which is incredible.
Yeah, and we've been partnering with them to actually help get them actual lore so they can release their own comics and things that are actually, like a legit backstory, and it's not just their own creation. But
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Some legends fight for fortune, others answers. But we shall all be forged in the glorious realm.
Mirage, quiet.
What was the inspiration for Apex Legends?
Well, we were really passionate about making a team-based game, and we initially were prototyping with different classes and how do you create team play. And so some of our early legends were like Lifeline, being the combat medic. Pathfinder came over from Titanfall 2 and sort of naturally found some abilities.
That was fun.
But I think once we honed in on making the game about the actual legends, not so much the abilities or the gameplay, but more through the eyes of these legends, that's when the game really took off from a development point of view. And a lot of the team just got really passionate about the actual legends themselves and who they are. And then things start lining up and making sense, like, why is Bloodhound doing these abilities? And I think that's when the team sort of became aligned and started working together.
We talk of victory and slaughter.
Yeah, and I think we were looking at what was happening kind of as we progressed after Titanfall 2, like where we would take multiplayer and kind of looking at, the Battle Royale space and it kind of blowing up, and we wanted to take that and do something new and unique with it. So kind of combining the, the character-based play with that just made sense.
Yeah, and I think you guys said that you want to expand beyond Battle Royale, which was evident in Season 9's arenas. Can you guys give us a hint at what else you might be planning going beyond Battle Royale?
Yeah, so Battle Royale will continue to be a primary focus for us. That's that's the roots of the game.
Be aware,
But we
guys,
have been
this
trying
is
to expand
Apex
beyond
and
Battle Royale
Battlefield
because
and
we
some
have,
other stuff
what
happening.
we
They
think
are
is a
going to
really
talk
great
about a lot of
combat loop
stuff, so
and
you're going to
fun
just have
core
to be
gameplay,
patient. Okay, chill,
so
chill
we're
out.
trying to offer
It'll
more
be
ways to play.
fine.
So we just released arenas in Season 9, and in Season 10, I can confirm that we'll be releasing a ranked version of arenas.
The rules are simple. Whoever survives wins.
So I'm very curious, what FPS defined you as a developer?
So for me, it's the first FPS game I shipped, which was Battlefield 1942. It took off, became a huge success. So kind of everything there on that journey, building that game and experiencing the launch. I mean, it's one of the greatest, I guess, memories I have in my career. So that's the game that defined me.
I just realized you launched with 1942 and now it's 2042. How do you feel about that?
I feel really good about it. So when I love the name, so I think that was a great choice, going back to our roots in a way. So I love that name and I love it sort of coming together.
What about you, Oscar?
Yeah, I have to go back to my classic Counter-Strike days. I know I spent decades and decades, it feels like, in the game. I still, like, on a rainy Sunday, instead of actually playing like proper multiplayer games, I will just join an empty Dust 2 server and I will work on my smoke grenades just to make sure. I don't know why. I haven't given up on that dream of becoming a pro player. It'll never happen, but it's still my go-to game on a rainy Sunday.
What about Vince? I'm very curious.
Probably like Doom, because the modding, we spent a lot of time like making mods and trolling our friends as we played, kind of LAN party style. And then playing probably Quake 3 Arena was probably like the game that I had the most fun, playing competitively.
Do you think you could have gone pro in it?
Oh gosh, no.
Chad, how about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of surrounded by my idols here because I grew up, as far as multiplayer gaming, playing a lot of Battlefield 1942. And then what got me my start in my career is actually playing and modding Medal of Honor Allied Assault, which is a game Vince made. So, and then, that's how I met Vince and got my job and all that and started working on Call of Duty.
How does it feel, like, hearing all this right now?
It feels really good, of course. Yeah, it's great. But I mean, it's like we're all fans of each other's work. I mean, I love playing Allied Assault. Modern Warfare was amazing. I used to play a ton of Counter-Strike as well. I think maybe most of us did. That was a ton of fun.
So when are you and Oscar going to team up for CSGO?
That's a good question. I'm pretty sure Oscar is way better than I am. So
Well,
I don't
maybe
know.
he can
Or maybe
coach
you
you.
can carry me, Oscar.
Yeah.
I think the five of us, on this call, we're all great in theory, at least, and that's a really good start. The question is if we can translate it in a good place, but maybe we can schedule something for this weekend. We just need to finish these games we're working on.
Yeah, I think people assume that we're good at the games we work on.
no,
but
no,
it's,
no.
Like, it's this weird thing where you put out a game and instantly you have like an hour window maybe where you know the tricks better than the players, and then they just surpass you like that now. It's crazy.
Actually, I'm really curious. How many times, like, what is a moment where you've seen a fan post gameplay of something that you never thought was possible in a game?
Every day.
Every day? Is there like a favorite moment?
What was the curved bullet thing in Titanfall?
Curved bullets? I don't remember that one.
Yeah, where they used the warp thing and they would curve bullets and hit people. Yeah.
I'm so glad I wasn't playing against them.
Yeah, anytime we release something new, also, we think it's like really well balanced, and then we release it, and we just like, oh no, people are doing that with it. It's awesome.
That's what I was saying at the start of stream. That's why you
what
can't be
about
mad if
Battlefield
it's not
moment? 'Cause I know
perfectly
that
balanced
can
when it
get- I mean,
releases.
you're adding a tornado now. So what is one of the wildest Battlefield moments that you've ever had?
I remember actually, which was kind of bizarre, we were playing against a bunch of journalists on BF 1942 early on, and they took the B-17 and started wing walking on the B-17. So the entire team flew on the B-17, walking on the wings. That was an amazing moment that, like, we didn't even know that you could do.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the kind of magic pieces when it comes to Battlefield is this notion of like what people can do in a social construct. And I mean, and many actually of the Easter eggs we produce across the years in Battlefield really are all about players coming together and doing things together to unlock something unexpected or crazy.
Whoa!
So there's some magic sauce there in Battlefield that really works well with the community.
So earlier this year, EA moved Need for Speed to go all in on Battlefield. Can you tell us how that works with a total of 3 studios and EA Gothenburg supporting specifically on Frostbite engine tech?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say on a normal year, it would be borderline impossible to pull in that many studios to build a game like this. But I think this COVID environment we've been in means that it's actually easier to scale teams because we're all in the same kind of infrastructure, Zoom meetings, virtual whiteboards, virtual playtests, everything has the word virtual ahead of it. So this is by far the biggest Battlefield team, we've ever had. And that's really enables us now to ship these 3 core, multiplayer experiences as part of the Battlefield 2042 launch. But it's been a grand adventure, a couple of months left, and just kudos to everyone in Gothenburg, Guildford, LA, and of course the team back in Stockholm. Everyone's come together, and it's honestly not only those folks. There's been engineers and artists and audio designers from kind of every single corner of the world across Electronic Arts helping out on this game. And I think you've seen it when you've seen the reveal trailer and the gameplay assets. It's really shining through. So kudos and thanks for all the help.
Things are about to get mighty interesting.
So, Chad, we're coming up on the next season of Apex already. What are some lessons you've learned from the past year?
Yeah, there's been a lot of lessons. I think from a development perspective, you know, make sure that we're giving everything enough time to be good before it comes out. I mentioned earlier ranked arenas coming next season. That's one of those things that just wasn't quite ready, and so we just pushed it a season. I think early on we were probably trying to hold to our guns and release things on schedule, and now I think we're a little bit more flexible with that sort of thing, and I think the players have responded well to that. You know, we'd much rather release something when it's really good and ready than to just get it done on time.
Yeah, I don't think everyone realizes how much time some of this takes. Like, characters are, we've gotten it down now to only about a year.
It's a little bit more, yeah, a year and a half or so.
So, like, we spend a lot of time kind of honing them, so it sucks to rush it out at the end, you know, with things. We want to be able to have the time to make it perfect, or as perfect as we can.
Out of curiosity, how long would a map take to develop?
We're generally about a year and a half from when we first start doing blockouts to shipping.
What about map changes, actually? Is that any easier than doing full map updates?
It's definitely a lot easier. Like a map update is generally about 6 months. So we're a couple seasons ahead on those. And then a town takeover, we're usually about 1 season ahead. So.
And actually, I'm very curious, how long does it take to make a map in Battlefield?
Somewhere between 6 and 12 months, based on size, complexity, is it a new biome, new gameplay opportunities. It's a bunch of time to pull that off, especially our big player counts. It's just a massive challenge, really balancing everything there.
So then that kind of begs the question, how hard is it to run a live service game?
A lot harder than we thought.
We're still learning how to do it, I think. You know, it's kind of, we get better every time, I hope. And I think there's a lot of content, it's a lot of testing. You know, the good part of it is you can put things out there and try things and not being afraid of things failing, you know, but that puts a lot more onus on the team to create content that the fans, you know, like, they need to last an entire 3-month season and have enough content to keep people coming back and engaged and entertained. You'll see.
Yeah, we look forward to it.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there any advice that you'd want to give Christian and his team?
I'll let Chad answer this one.
You know, if I could go back, I think the only advice I'd give myself was to make sure that you've got the pipeline and the tools and the team ready to start creating that content. Because for us, we were all in on launch. We launched the game, and then it's like, oh, this game got popular. We have to do like a season 1. What are we going to put in it? And we had very little content ready to go.
Yeah, the first couple seasons were a lot of work for the team.
Yeah.
We've slowed it down now and kind of balanced, you know, we want quality of life for the team too, so we kind of always try to ride that line, but the first couple were
We were also just very used to 2-year-long or more development time and then a big release. And it was the same for the release of Apex. So we had never done, how do you ship something in a month or in 3 months even? And so we just had to completely change the way that we think about development.
So Oscar, I'm curious, after hearing all of these stories, how are you guys preparing for Battlefield 2042's live service?
You know, of course, we've had the Battlefield 4 live service we did together with Christian and the team over in DICE LA. We had, you know, Battlefield 5 just recently. We took Star Wars Battlefront 2 on quite a journey, adding new content and updates, evolving that game a whole lot.
They did a good job on that one, to be fair.
So we have a couple of tricks up our sleeve as we get to the live service for Battlefield 2042. And many of those learnings actually came from Apex Legends and all the great work the Respawn team has done with that game.
Yeah, I mean, with this job, you kind of get to learn new things every day. We constantly grow and change and push the boundaries. So it's one of the most exciting things about doing this.
Yeah.
You also feel like when you release a game that you worked on for that long and you're done, you know, my experience, the team kind of feels like they wish they could have done this or that.
Yeah.
It's never quite done, right? It's sort of the artist mentality. So the nice thing with live service, it's like, well, it's not done. You can keep doing, you can keep changing, you can keep polishing or doing whatever you want. So there's a benefit.
You also get that instant kind of gratification. So normally we spend 2 to 3 years before anyone sees what we're doing. Whereas in a live service world, we can create something today, and then a few weeks later, it's in the hands of players. When we were doing the community test environment for BF4, that loop was even shorter. We did something on Monday, and it was in the hands of players on Tuesday, because it didn't have to be perfect. It was a test environment. And our developers love that instant feedback that you get from something, and kind of working that closely with the community. It's very different from the quiet and secretive for 2 years, and then we launch it.
Seems like you guys have a lot of fun with it, which is really great.
This is my favorite part. Exciting.
It's time we jump to the part that everyone has been waiting for. What does the future of FPS games look like to you? Vince, because you have the most history with FPS games, we'll start with you. What does the future look like?
Apex versus Battlefield.
Love it.
Deathmatch.
We're going to bring it on. I don't know. I think the best part is we don't really know yet. There's so many things that we haven't even thought about or put thought into yet that it's exciting. And we get new consoles now, so we see the power that we haven't even really started to unlock yet. So that'll get better and better.
Yeah. How about you, Chad?
The other thing that excites me is there's a whole new generation of gamers. And we're up here talking about, games we've played in the past, and there's people who have never even heard of them or never had the chance to experience them. So I think there's a lot of gameplay experiences that you can pay homage to or something, or experiences you can bring, right? Respawn just made a World War II game, for instance, and I grew up on a World War II game that Vince made, ironically. And I think a lot of people experienced it for the first time and learned something about World War II. And so just opportunities like that. There's a whole new generation of gamers, and so that's exciting.
Christian?
It feels like there's so much more we could do and should do on the kind of social side of our games. If you look at a traditional sport, you could you could go outside and just kick a ball or throw a ball, and you can watch it on TV, and you can go to a stadium and watch it, and you can participate in fantasy versions of it, and it becomes more than just that actual game, whereas I feel like we're only at the beginning of that, where we can turn it into more of a social thing, where you hang out in this world, in these worlds that we create, not just to compete, but also just to be there with your friends. I think there's a ton of exciting potential there.
Yeah. Oscar, I'm very curious as to what your answer is.
Cloud computing has really changed a bunch of other industries, and gaming kind of barely touched on it. So if you think about a game like Battlefield, we have things like AI in the game now, destruction, actually procedural level creation. And the next-gen consoles, there are, of course, super powerful. But if we move much of that logic out to the cloud, which is kind of servers in other language, we can do some really high-scale computing that we haven't been able to do in the past. Destruction, visual fidelity. And I think it's just a couple of years away. And then you'll see some pretty cool shooter games out there, I'd imagine. But we'll see. Soon, trademark.
Battlefield 2042 being one of them?
No comments.
Oh, okay. So, Chad, what should we expect from EA Play Live on July 22nd?
Yeah, so our next season is rapidly approaching, so we're going to be unveiling some new information around.
Relax, people. It's not a big live
some
reveal
information about our
thingy.
next
We don't have to be mad
legend.
about everything.
He is very interesting and unique in many ways, and I think players will be really excited to learn about him.
I'm very excited to learn, and I'm assuming you can't share more about that, but I'm so excited. So, Oscar, what should fans expect from Battlefield 2042 at EA Play Live on July 22nd?
So I think it's that mode that was on a whiteboard for many decades and many years and never kind of happened. And now Christian and his team and LA have been, orchestrating and building it. So, Christian?
Yeah, I mean, it's super exciting, and of course a bit nerve-wracking, kind of showing something for the first time, but hoping that the players, the community will really embrace and like what we're going to show them on July 22nd.
Yeah.
I think they will, Christian. It's cool.
It's really exciting.
It's cool. Yeah. It's really cool.
The passion from the team comes through, every time they show it off. It's amazing.
Yeah, Christian and his team actually showed Lars, Mr. Battlefield Gustafsson, that experience just a few weeks ago. And Lars, as you might know, has been with the franchise for the 2 decades it existed. I think he was jumping around on the Zoom chair, really, really happy with what we saw. And I think that's a great testament to what to expect at the EA Play Live.
So get a sturdy chair ready to watch it.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us here. Thank you for having me. It was so great to hear everyone's experiences, and I'll let you guys get back to your game development. I'm so excited to see what you guys have in store for us. So thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this first Spotlight. More from the EA Play Live Spotlight series coming soon. Follow @EA on Twitter or go to EA.com for the latest updates. Also remember, EA Play Live is July 22nd and you don't want to miss that. I'm Stella.
That's when we're here a lot more.
And this was
July 22nd.
Thanks everyone for joining, and I'll see you on the battlefield.
So basically, these little events are just to keep interest and keep sort of like trickling out information and keep the hype going. It's smart. Like, you can be mad about not getting a huge amount, but if you get it all now, they don't have to release it, later on at the bigger events. This is how you're supposed to do it. So to recap what was covered in that, let me just go. To recap what was... I'm not going to play, I'm just putting this up. To recap what was covered in that I thought was important, the word levolution or term levolution was used. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but they had every opportunity to edit this how they wanted it to. So levolution was mentioned. From what I can gather, the hazard mode there, they didn't make a big deal out of it, but they basically confirmed that old maps or pieces of old maps are going to return, fan favorite maps. If I heard that correctly, I didn't talk over them at the time. So I think that that's going to be a thing. So that'd be interesting. And they made they had a big, well, not a big, but they had a whole talk about Commander mode, him wanting it to come back one day, and it would be interesting that they actually included that, when again, they could cut whatever they wanted. So my thought would be if they're going to sit and talk about a Commander mode, that might be something we actually see again at some point, not at a release, maybe not even in this game, but something they want. They mentioned the CTE from BF4. I don't know if this is going to happen. They didn't actually say that there's going to be a CTE, which is a community test environment, by the way, if you don't know. BF1 had one recently, for example, and it was great. I would personally love to see that come back, a CTE. I think being able to test out this stuff without just internal testers, who do a good job, by the way. But if you have internal playtesters only on stuff, like they mentioned with Apex Legends there, and at the start of the stream when I said don't be mad if not everything's perfectly balanced when the game releases, internal playtests cannot pick up everything that a mass populace of hundreds of thousands of players are going to work out. So I think a CTE is important. It'd be great if they could bring that back. But yeah, we'll get lots more details, I imagine, on July 22nd, which is not far off. That's like 2 weeks away. So if I'm able, and if I'm around, I'll try to stream that as well if you want to tune in with me. Thank you for the sub that just came through. Not all of them are working, but if you have subscribed, thank you so much. You get 10% full of life, join the friendliest community in Battlefield. We stream almost every day. I'm not here tomorrow though. I'll be back on Saturday. But yes, that's pretty much the important stuff that I heard mentioned. Hopefully it sounds interesting to you. And again, whenever they do these little things, you can watch them or not. But if you're going to complain the whole time, you may as well just wait for the big ones. Because, you know, this is the smart way of doing it. Trickle out the information, give us little bits, keep us interested, keep the hype going, get more people involved, and the game can be a success moving forwards, which benefits you as a consumer. Okay? Procedural level generation, generation, not regeneration. That was a quick thing. They didn't really get much information about the procedural stuff, so I'm not going to comment too much. We're just going to wait to see what that turns into. But yeah, okay guys, thank you so much for watching. That was just a quick little stream today because I'm exhausted. I need to go and eat. I'll be back in a couple of days' time, probably for BF1, as you're seeing here. If you want to tune in for that, amazing. Thank you for the donations that came on today, as well as your viewership. Thank you for the likes. And don't forget to join the Discord. Put in !Discord in the chat. That way you can join this community, find people to play with, talk to, lots of topics, voice chat. Here, find out when there's streams and videos and all sorts of stuff. I love you guys very much. I'm GetGoodGuy, and we've been great. And I'll see you in a couple of days. Be safe, be merry, and do wonderful things. Goodbye.